What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today I want to show you guys a little bit of Force War content because there are some exciting things that I can show you there and I thought we'd check them out together. So, the real cool thing about Force War is that you have those all new bosses over here. All of those bosses have very interesting mechanics, are very interesting teams, and one challenge that has always been there is the challenge to beat them without using a Transcendence hero, which in nowadays I would say is something that is like fairly uncommon. We don't really get to use or are forced to use, this is called Force War because of that, are forced to use normal heroes in any game mode really. And I think it has a kind of interesting dynamic because you get to think about those new heroes as well. Usually when there is like a new hero release, let's say the last hero whose name I already forgot and didn't even build, Ignacia, usually the thing is they get released and then, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter until the Transcendence hero is released too. You maybe look at the skills if you are either a beginner or somebody that's trying to figure out what the Transcendence hero is probably going to do. Because the Transcendence heroes are usually a straight up upgrade of this base version. So here we get to see and use them, and it is interesting to build up a team. Last time I have to say it was quite impossible to clear those guys at a meaningful high Transcendence hero clear. So like a 2400, which is the max points, was really impossible. The reason for that was they introduced new modifiers. The last modifiers that we are down here at the list, those are new. All damage reduction, 42%, and armor is what those bosses get, and then we have energy, which they didn't have before. They had no energy, so they were doing a basic attack. Now they're doing an active skill, which is a huge change. Speed actually didn't matter because that has been bugged forever. There is like this modifier here. Where is it? Increases all enemies speed intensity 3. Which you would think, okay, gives them like 20 speed, gives them 100 speed. Nah, gives them like 5000 speed. So we're so far away from ever outspeeding those guys, which is crazy. And then they upgraded this. So now the thing is, it was like completely impossible to even clear those waves until we, well, kind of got a ton of stats. Until we kind of got a ton of stats. And the thing about this is, all of those stats are also on those heroes right here. So as long as you have like an E5 hero, all of the Grimoire stats and everything, they are also here. So you can make use of those, and it's quite insane, I have to say. It's quite insane. You can get a ton of stats on those heroes. We're going to look at it in a second. For now, I want to show you a fight. I just want to show you a fight. We have 5 heroes over here. We can only use 5. We have a carry in slot 1, the enemy attack slot 1 with LFA, with an active skill from LFA. So we're trying to dodge that. In general, dodging is kind of key to those clears. Dodging helps a lot. Debuff from Wraec, reducing all the defenses of one enemy. Particularly, it's first going to land on the boss. And the boss is something you want to take care of quickly. And then we have 3 times damage. 2 times damage, really. The Mockman he's doing decent damage, is not meant to do that. He's actually meant to take the energy drain on turn 2, if that is possible. The biggest RNG component in this is you kind of have to dodge all those hits. Slot 1 having the carry there is very good, but like this, for example, yeah, took 2 heroes away and is like a big RNG component and a big problem, because if once you start losing heroes, for example the G-Star here, you get problems clearing this, and this is kind of annoying, I have to say. So let's see what we can do. Taking out the Wraec here, very, very nice. Carry with some energy drain, not bad at all. Seems like we have the wrong attack there on the Mockman. Mockman still getting the clear. Could work. Okay, we got the clear. Was a little bit badly set up, I have to say it. My G-Star died too, and still we cleared it. This team is very, very good at doing it, honestly. I saw a lot of kids actually at way lower attack than I had. For example, No 7 from my guild is currently, I think, even place 1 in this because he didn't cap his points. Are you one of those people? I am certainly one of those people that always manage to cap on the resources here and then loses out on a ton of points. No 7 isn't that. No 7 really isn't that. I'm place 2, but look, 6k difference. What the hell is crazy? So yeah. He managed to do it with a lot less attack, so that is fairly interesting. Currently, the attack that I'm running on the LFA, on the Aspen, is 283 million. He was at 190, I think, which is still, I mean, in both cases, absolutely insane. And now we're probably going to see my setup error. No, 285. So we want to have the Mockman a little bit higher than the Aspen, because Aspen is usually the better clear hero. This Mockman is just overpowered and has too much attack, and that's why he can still clear the enemies there. But it's really, the thing is with the Grimoire, you get a good attack on nearly everything. We have 95 mil there. It really depends on the Awakening. Like if you have a good Awakening, you can get good attack on anything as long as you have a good Grimoire. We can, for example, check this out, 156 mil here. Or for example, our Ithaca, 166 million there. So with soul power and everything, and of course, I mean, we kept out the soul power on the LFA nearly, it's 9,900. We could go to 10,800, but we wanted it below the enemy, below the Mockman, so that the Mockman takes the energy drain. Yeah, so we have pretty big attack. One other trick that I used and that I thought was kind of interesting, you saw the carry dodge all the time. Carry, of course, has passive dodge. It should be 40% chance to hide into the void to dodge the enemy's active skill or basic attack. I mean, if the LFA hits, he gets his overkill damage, will hit our entire team and we'll likely lose. So we really want her to dodge and be able to do so. So what I did was I just kind of planted the Cloak of Soaring Phoenix on there. I didn't really find a use for this artifact before now. It hasn't really made it into my personal meta. I think 9 layers of this recharge mechanic that allows you to dodge. And if you've never seen this, by the way, this is the first artifact that, like on baseline, gives you dodge, which is pretty cool. Having dodge is nice. And then it gives you grants yourself Fiery Feather and 9 layers of recharge. And each successful dodge reducts 1 layer of recharge, and when self is below 50% of HP for the first time, you activate Fiery Feather, and this will again give you 9 layers of recharge. If you get one shot, however, well, that's it in that case. The cool thing about this is Fiery Feather also increases your dodge by 66%, so really carry will basically always dodge. And while this doesn't necessarily lead or is the key to our victory in this, what it certainly helps with is just kind of bringing a little bit more consistency to it, because in general we want to dodge as much as we can. You can see a lot of our heroes dodge the active skill there. If we got hit there, it would all have been all over. If this sometimes hit us, that is already a problem. Here we kind of have to luck out and dodge everything. Mockman there actually with pretty good damage. We can't outright one-shot them, but you can see how much it really helps just to have the carry there and how much this dodge is really worth. This Morex here is absolutely mean. I hate him. ATD can also, of course, destroy us, but you can see, like, we are making progress. It usually works out to an extent. And it's not like the best thing, and by the way, I have to point this out now. Phoenix is doing nothing at all. Like, horrible. 6 round cap's going to kill us in a second. Come on. We get one more round. Okay, we got one more round and then we died. Phoenix is not doing anything. You can see this was not enough to clear it because we had the bad RNG with the dodges. And I'm talking about dodges on the other heroes, by the way, not a carry. Carry's dodging is fine. Drake only has dodge after he attacked, but those enemies always attack in front of us. So where is the dodge coming from? Well, dodge is coming from Treasure Train, obviously. Treasure Train has treasures that give us dodge in Force War, and it turns out this is rather valuable. We can't make use of the Transcendence hero stuff, and this is interesting. I want to point this out first. Transcendence heroes, we had this crit damage treasure. This is a 2023 treasure, and at the time was considered one of the most broken ones ever, and to this date is considered by me as one of the most broken ones ever. It gives you Transcendence heroes 50 crit damage, and ever since we are kept on crit damage, mostly all of the time, really. The thing is, though, it only gives Transcendence heroes crit damage, and I had to kind of find out about that the hard way, because, well, we don't really have a whole lot of crit damage. Yeah, we have 55 crit though. And really not going for crit. Like, really not going for crit. 55. So if I were to go ahead and use like a crit stone, which would give me crit damage, you have stones with crit chance and without crit damage, but you have no crit damage stones without crit chance, which is the horrible part. So the crit damage would be important for me, but I can't really get it very well without also getting a ton of crit. And we had the crit video. If you don't know about it, check it out. And we sadly also get crit in Force War. So this is kind of a problem already. Where's my Force War? Somewhere, I guess. It's like such a list there. Damage reduction by attack. We get speed, control immunity, dodge received, holy damage a ton. Dodge offset for the enemies, of course, so that we can hit them. And then we have dodge rate 29.5%, which is assumably can get buffed. I don't know which treasure it actually is. I didn't check that out. All damage dealt 86%. You can see there's another 6% crit. It would actually be super helpful to have a crit damage Force Ward treasure, which is such a weird thing. But like for the normal Transcendence Heroes clears, that would be a huge, huge difference. Damage reduction 93%. I love. That is so useless. I don't know why they did this, but it is 93%. As far as I remember, it has a 75% cap. So yeah, it's 93%. So yeah, we are overcapped on damage reduction by treasures for Force War alone, which is rather interesting. Okay, 10% dodge rate are here. New Year's Celebration Cake Festival Treasure 2024, where they combine Force War with PvP. Let's go to control immunity in here. And a whole lot of holy damage. My god, that's a ton. And 4.5% we have over here from the Black Friday treasures. Which I think I maxed it. I think you couldn't get more than that. So eventually you're going to get a whole lot more dodge rate here. But those Black Friday treasures, I mean, if they're still released one time a year. I thought this was weird. I think 2-star is the maximum that you can have here, and it's like 453 points set to that. It was a very, very weird series. So some weird sources for dodge rate there. And then I kind of tried the other ones. The horrible thing is, like, for some it's really big RNG. Kind of sucks a little bit. So for example, on the Major Lead boss, I made some progress. Didn't really kill him, by the way. You can see very well here how little effort I really put into this. That's a B- LFA, and that's well enough to get 2,200 points on this, if you have my account size. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think on this one we went for, how was this? I went for the cruise, and then I also tried with the, I think I had the most success with an armorer in there. Actually, not with the Ignis. We can try still. The idea here was that they hit the cruise and then get stunned, but this fails actually when they kind of attack like this, and the boss will still attack. So we didn't get the stun on the STE. This is even more horrible. He survived. We killed the boss. I mean, we did some decent damage. So that's why I think we have a chance here. And by the way, I can't run Balance Strike. Not because we can't survive necessarily. I don't run Balance Strike here. Mostly because I just don't get to not crit somehow. Like most of the time, I didn't really notice a damage difference. It was a little bit horrible on that one. We can try again. So really the RNG here, that is really the important part. If he stuns that, it's good, but he has to kind of hit it well. Yeah, that was okay, but we are silenced. And the boss, every time one of those units here attacks, the boss gives you like a random CC effect, and you can check out, wait, we can check this out here. We can check out the skills of the Lair Boss, and those are really important. The passive skills here are active as long as the boss is alive. That's why I always say, like, take care of the boss first. So any ally releases active skills, attacks 2 random enemies. For targets whose energy is lower than 60, there's 75% chance to freeze them. And meanwhile, inflicts energy oscillation on them, and below 60... Is that the same? For targets whose energy is lower than 60, for targets whose energy is below 60. That is the same. Do they mean above, maybe? Yeah, in any way you can get CC'd. That is rather horrible. And we are not too CC immune. Also, you have to see, well, this guy can dove you. We got the freeze there. She can freeze, and she can do the special freeze on you. And, well, in theory, she has Dazzle, never really plays a role. And what really kills you on the stage is not even the CC. We can out-RNG the CC. What we can't out-RNG is the potion throwing by Mokon, by Homesiang. The problem with that is that this is RNG. So it's first of all RNG where it lands, and then you have the next part of RNG, or, well, not really RNG in that sense. You can't dodge that. You just can't dodge that. It's passive damage, so it will always hit our hero. So despite our dodge, where we could like maybe get lucky or something, yeah, won't happen. Won't happen. We got Dove there, by the way. Thank you, Holmes Young, for having like the wonderful turn 1 here. Great. And yeah, it's a little bit difficult. I tried different things. I think one solution for this would actually be to have like a bigger cruise copy. We could do some adjustments still. Yeah, but really never really worked out too well. So it is rather big RNG. He still lands into Unbending Will, and I think I just need some bigger HP. The fun part is we have the cool time now. Next season, this entire thing is going to be trivial. So while we're talking about strategy and whatever right now, everything you see right here will be trivial next season. Because by that point, if the current growth rate of HP and attack and everything continues, by that point we'll have so much HP and so much attack that everything that was not one-shot right now will be one-shot. So, and the crews will have so much HP that you won't no longer get hit into Unbending Will. Maybe by the time we have that tomorrow. Tomorrow is Reverie Key event, so that might already be the point for it. Assassin Elite. I got close. Reasonably close, actually, on Assassin Elite. Assassin Elite was a little bit better. In general, for Assassin Elite, what you want to do, and how did I even do that? How was I set up on this? I don't even remember. You need one hero that is lowest HP. And that hero will get killed, because that hero is targeted by the enemy Wraec, which is rather annoying. Which was apparently our Amra. And then the Wraec also puts the mark on you guys, and that is like really, really annoying. We got pretty good hits there. Killing the SFX is actually like the key here. Do the stunt. And you have attack debuffs. You get like a ton of attack debuffs. Actually really sucks. Yeah. So you kind of want to have attack reduction purify, and at the same time you also want to have CC purify in case you get stunned. You can see, like, that can be annoying because that just bypassed our target for the Unbending Will. We still got the stun there, which is horrible. We could go for some immunities there. Wow, we would have had the defense down on the Xia there. And you can hit the Xia, of course, with dodge offset. She has 100% dodge, I think, but you can still hit her with dodge offset. So that was probably the best way this could go. We still got hit there quite a lot. Would have been better if... okay, that's probably not too good. And now G-Star is stunned. I always like to stun him. We dodged. Look at that. Dodging the Xia. That's kind of funny. Okay. We could, in theory, try to go adjust this a little bit. We are running, by the way, Lingering Melody of the Universe on them. So, not only on the G-Star, also on the Mockman and the Aspen, just for the extra attack boost and everything. So that's the Transcendence Harp. And I just try one more time. Let's see. It's always big RNG, but because those are random targets. So this could also hit our LFA, and I saw this a few times. And when this hits our LFA, yeah, it's actually quite destructive. That was pretty cool. There you saw it. He has all of the attack debuffs, and that means he actually can't. She actually couldn't deal any damage. So our entire attacks there were quite useless. But I like this. Using up the attacks and trying to see if we can get like the RNG that makes it possible for us to clear it. I kind of like this part of Force War. I think it's pretty cool. Even though horrible stun there, my god. Even though most of the time you get a little bit disappointed. And yeah, this is not really an optimal team. There are some ways to clear this, which are fairly interesting, and I saw Jesus use those in the past, because we are looking back at the older tactics there. The main tactic that you can use, and that is pretty sweet, is that this guy has an attack or an effect called Bloodthirsty. When a hero granted Bloodthirsty releases active skill or basic attacks, they will deal extra damage equal to 20% of the target's lost HP and restore the hero's HP by 30% of the total damage dealt. And what you can of course do, and which is rather mean but works actually to do a significant amount of damage here, is you can go ahead and you can use healing curses. Each basic attack curses enemies 2 times, and if we get the upgraded version, which is over here, and we can inflict healing curses on 3 random enemies, and this offsets the next received effect of being being healed and turns 100% of the offset effect of being healed into damage. So you can kind of make use of this ability of the enemy Rogan to clear him. If you want to go ahead and do so. So this is one way to actually clear them. I had the most success not with this tactic actually, but with some RNG run where the Drake survived. Which I thought was like really interesting. We're going to do like, after this we're going to go ahead and do the next boss, and not going to do much progress there. It's going to be just one attack because it is so horrible actually. I'll be honest. Okay, boss died, that is good, so that should clear us of some of the debuffs. My LFA died, so this is over. Yeah, it's all sadly a little bit of RNG. And yeah, you really notice the Drake. When the Drake puts his defense down on you, just die. It's crazy. So this one I want to do, and I want to do very swiftly actually. We are going to put the stuff on, and yeah, it's going to be a very quick fight. We can use any team we like. It's actually rather horrible. I don't know, didn't really have any success with this guy because you have just like a ton of incoming damage, and I don't really know how to deal with that yet. So maybe, what do we use? Did I block everything? I feel like I blocked everything. We can use the carries, I guess. Okay, let's put carry there. And it's not an optimal team. I just mainly want to demonstrate. So our energy is just gone. Yeah, this guy drains a ton of energy. Our energy's gone. We got to attack. Mainly because this carry has 100% dodge. So yeah, she can survive a little bit. And still gets hit. Still gets hit by the passive damage, which is ridiculous. It's funny to see the 100% dodge chance. Still didn't have a chance. So this boss, yeah, really mean actually. Really don't want to fight this. This one, however, very possible. So this one, I have to say, the Priest Elite boss was super easy. I think I just took like a few attempts. I cleared it actually at work today, which has to stay between us. But I doubt you guys are going to snitch on me, so that's pretty good. And yeah, this one is way slower, doesn't have the same amount of incoming damage. You use a Drake, you give yourself a little bit of an armor shield, which is very important, and then you can just go ahead and use your damage dealers. And there's not really too much that is going to happen to you here. To be honest, once you have the armor shield and then you take care of 1 or 2 enemies and get the boss down, I think it's by far the easiest. You just have to survive through the first round, I guess, and you want to really have the energy artifact on your armor. So that is really the important part. And then you can even heal a little bit. Annabelle marks, little puppet over the head here. Blocks you from doing your skills properly, from doing your active skill, will instead heal the enemy. Our Mockman died there, which is not too nice. Maybe shouldn't have placed that in slot 1, but we should still make it, because she's going to get defense down, and then we can just one-shot her. Okay, cool. So, very easy, you can see it, with sufficient stats and this team, you are pretty much easily going to clear this, because most of them don't really multi-target you and don't really have those huge AoE hits, which we saw, for example, from the mage. So, this is just what I wanted to show you guys, a little bit of the stats on what I use, because I saw some people ask about it, whether it's possible to do this right now. And yeah, it's really just possible because we have those huge Grimoire stats. And basically every hero now can get huge stats if you have Grimoire. And maybe also Grimoire right now, for 45 million attack we have right here, 7.7 billion HP. And sigil-wise, we do have a Force War sigil, which I thought about using. Didn't end up doing so. Don't know. Wanted a better one. If we had like skill damage or something, I think we could have done a lot better. We have reduced dot received. Precision, which is not really helpful. I guess we have to work on that a little bit. If you get like something like skill damage or something like this, 500%, this could help a lot. I don't even know if we have crit damage. I did so many videos on it. If we have crit damage, then this could also be good. Crit damage sigil could be interesting. Yeah, but we will work on that eventually, and then do a little bit more. For now, I'm pretty fine. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Force War, we don't get to do that every single day, but I hope it was interesting for you. And with that, I wish you a great day. I'll see you in the next one.